Last week, Spotify made a deal with Amazon, and as you can see on the daily chart, price rose into that news announcement, but is now pulling back just slightly. As if we look on the monthly chart, you can see where price is at now. That has served as resistance in the past. Before we continue with the analysis, let's look at this article. It is coming from The Motley Fool. Should investors buy Spotify stock now that it's reached a landmark deal with Amazon? So Spotify went public back in 2015. 2023 has been a rocky year. Revenue growth slowed and then reaccelerated. However, the stock has nearly doubled this year to date after falling 75% in 2022. However, the potentially game-changing surprises just kept coming. For Spotify on August 30th, the company announced that it had partnered with its biggest rivalry, Amazon. And investors rightly want to know if they can safely buy Spotify stock today, given all the recent changes to the business. So Wall Street is increasingly calling this a win-win deal. Amazon wants to supercharge its next great business, shipping and logistics. Gaining access to Spotify's large merchant base will help it do so, hopefully justifying the massive investment it made in logistics in recent years. While Amazon gets increased logistics business from Spotify, Spotify keeps a hold on payments, which is key. When shoppers use Buy with Prime through Shopify, it will be Shopify's processing the payment, not Amazon. Shopify's merchants can allow for multiple payment options at checkout, including PayPal's Venmo. But Shopify's payments has steadily grown since its launch. It handled 58% of total merchandise volume on its platform in the second quarter of this year, which was itself highest penetration rate ever. The higher penetration rate for Spotify payments allows Spotify to benefit from a transaction in multiple ways, driving revenue growth. Payments are recorded in the company's Merchant Solutions segment. In the second quarter, this segment grew revenue by 35% year over year. All right, so let's talk about valuation. It trades at an expensive price to sales ratio of 13. So Spotify must grow substantially over the coming years for this to be a good investment today. And then there are concerns for investors to be aware of when it comes to this point. Revenue growth has reaccelerated in Q2, but don't take a victory lap just yet. Merchandise volume was only up 17% year over year. The company increased its subscription price during the quarter, which is a large reason why overall revenue grew 31%. All right, so really what you came to this video to find out is where is price heading next. All right, so again, price is at a level that has served as resistance in the past. So keep that in mind. That's at the 160 level. Let's go down to the weekly chart. And you can see since the beginning of this year, prices have been in a huge momentum upward swing. However, price broke and closed below that weekly uptrend line back in late July. So this could be a close below pullback before price heads down. A retest, potentially. You can see on the weekly chart, you have a wick rejection, and this week, a small wick, which is really a doji candle. So it could potentially be setting up for a decline in price, is what I'm getting at. All right, so let's go to the daily chart now. I mean, you see, you have a couple of gaps, and all gaps get filled. You have the red line, which is the 50-day moving average. You have the white line, which is the 100-day moving average. So you got a cluster of moving averages right at the 152 level. So that's going to serve as support. Let's put that in green. So I personally won't be convinced that price is going to fall until we breach this 152 level. Another potential setup is a close below before it moves down. But it's hard to say right now, as there is no setup. So again, on a valuation standpoint, Spotify is not a buy. But if you look at where it's been during the pandemic and going into 2021, it reached a high of 380. So can price double? Yes, it can. Can price move up to the next big level at the psychological round number of 200? Yes, it can. But it needs to get past this resistance band at the 160 level first. Again, at the moment, there's no setup on Spotify, but worth keeping on your watch list. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.